You're listening to Probably Unqualified, the podcast that no one asked for. All right, so welcome to Probably Unqualified episode 2.
We already had our first one. I'm so excited. Fuck y'all.
This is very exciting.
I'm so excited. I can't believe this is like actually a thing. I never thought that we would make it here.
I promise this one's going to be better than the first. But if you already liked the first and thought it was great, then, I mean, there's only up from here.
Okay, so have you ever heard of Pocahontas syndrome?
No, tell me more.
So, I mean, by like Urban Dictionary, Pocahontas syndrome is technically a Native American woman that is attracted to white men, but we just decided to talk about being attracted to white men, you know, as women of color.
It stemmed from the meme that you can probably check out on our page or on our story.
Yes.
Of the two parts, and it's like the top part is like, these white men are dangerous. And then the second picture is Pocahontas making out with John Smith. That just, I feel like that meme is perfect in explaining our lives, at least some of our lives.
Let us know in the comments if you want us to recreate it.
We really tried to convince Deja to recreate it with her and Shane, but
absolutely not.
No, she won't do it. Even for like our...
Just cyberbully her until she decides to recreate them.
Everybody put hashtag...
Hashtag
no.
We need a marketer so that they can come up with our hashtags.
But yeah, so this week's episode, we are diving into...
Interracial dating.
Interracial relationships. Ooh.
That sounded like an infomercial.
Are you kidding me? Ariana is shaking right now, let me just say.
Yeah, shaking her millions.
You know what? Whatever. I don't care.
Okay. Let's talk about
interracial. Did you just break my glass?
No.
Mariah.
First of all, there's Dollar Tree plastic shit.
Oh my god, first of all, we haven't made royalties off this podcast. Don't go breaking my shit before we can afford to replace it.
It's okay,
Dollar
I'll
Tree
Venmo
champagne.
you. It's fine.
That was vintage, baby.
That is a Dollar Tree champagne glass.
No, I got those from the Goodwill and they were vintage.
No.
Are you talking about this one that I'm drinking out
yes.
of?
That one, those fell.
I can't see. Okay.
It's plastic.
Okay, well, just be careful, okay, ho?
Don't make me laugh so hard.
Oh, wow, it's so hard being so funny.
All right, so, ladies, we will take turns, I guess, and talk about, first, like, when we were all diagnosed with Pocahontas.
When did you find out you were terminally ill with I Love White Men?
So who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go first. I was trying to sit back and, like, think about, like, really, like, my first encounter with, like, being attracted to a white man. And I have to say that when I was younger, and I probably shouldn't have been watching this movie, like, looking back now, but one of my favorite movies when I was, like, 10 was Liar, Liar.
Yes,
Jim Carrey, he did it for me. Like, oh my God. He was so beautiful in that movie. I mean, he's beautiful now. I love Jim Carrey.
Is he?
He is.
He is not.
He's like 50-something.
Right.
Okay, yeah. We got daddy issues.
We definitely don't.
Don't go playing that on the...
Me. It's the same thing. No, but Jim Carrey definitely did it for me. He was my early onset white man of the month. You know how they do that?
White boy. In high school, it was like white boy of the month.
Y'all had that?
Yes. Well, no, it was on like Facebook. Yeah, it was like hot boy of the week, but it was always a young
A couple
white
months
man.
ago, it was Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, it's always Timothy Chalamet.
Call me by your name, daddy.
Moving on.
I would say I was diagnosed with Pocahontas syndrome. Honestly, I would have to say from Disney. So if you think about it, everything that we watched, all the princes were white. All the main characters on the TV show, like Phil of the Future and all of that, like they were all white men, right? What's his real name?
I almost said Phil.
Ryan,
Ricky
right?
Martin.
Ricky.
No, not Ricky Martin.
Ricky Martin.
Ricky something.
Living la vida loca.
I swear
No,
it's
it's
Ricky
Ricky.
something.
Ricky Dillon is a YouTuber.
It's Ricky something.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Ricky
Lane.
Chalamet. No, but it would have to be Disney and then just WWE. So I used to watch a lot of wrestling when I was younger. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, like
Stone Cold,
literally
Steve
anybody. Stone Cold, like that's where the long hair white men came in. So it would have to be Disney or WWE for me. What about you, Lex?
What about me? Should have had my list prepared.
She said, "All I've known is white men."
I wish I had like a defining moment. Like I looked on the TV and I was like, "Oh yes, that's it for me." But I don't know. I mean, if you told me like the first man who made me want to be Jewish, which is a whole different thing, Adam Sandler. I asked for his complete collection of DVDs when I was a child, and asked my mom for Christmas if I could be Jewish. But
I don't blame you. 8 Crazy Nights is still
thank you.
top
so
10
good.
greatest holiday movies ever.
Even though to this day, because of that movie, I'm afraid of porta potties.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
But I don't know. Honestly, they've always just been it for me.
She said, "I've been about this life."
So what about like influences? What would you say, Rye? Like what were the influences for you?
Like as far as men
Like
in Hollywood?
what triggered this even more? Like
I feel like Jim was like the start of it.
Like gym class?
No,
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Oh.
First of all, I almost said Jim Crow, and I was gonna say this episode cut a weird left. Almost said Jim Crow. No, Jim Carrey. I guess the first time that I acted on it, because when I was younger, it was always like, and my family even made fun of me, my aunt especially. And I feel like this almost like I need to go to therapy for this. I was triggered by it. But when I was younger, my family would always joke about like that I was so attracted to white men and I was only attracted to white women, which I don't think was the case at all. But I guess I didn't act on it until high school. But it all comes down to like what you're surrounded by. Because in middle school, like I started quote unquote dating, aka
holding hands on the bus.
Literally holding hands. Like that was literally it. But I didn't start dating until high school. And I went to a private school, all girls private Catholic school. So all I knew were guys from Joe's and Canisius. And it's like, they're all white. Yeah, I knew some black guys. But like, I mostly knew white men. So I feel like maybe if I were exposed to a more diverse group of men from high school, from like the start of like my sexual awakening, if we want to say that, but just like more about dating. But if I were exposed to more people of different races, then I feel like I wouldn't be in this situation that I'm in. But now it's like, let me not say situation, but like I just feel like I always go for a specific kind of guy, or even allow a specific kind of guy to like take interest in me, and it's like 9 times out of 10 it's white guys, because that's what I've been used to. I didn't entertain a black guy until college.
So you think if you would have went to a more diverse
middle
school or like high school, college, that you would have been more...
Okay, devil's advocate.
Here I go, counteracting it. Okay, so my influences. So first, my mom's boyfriend of 19 years was white. My mom's stepmom was also white. So I think I was able to see it happen in like real life. And then once I started listening to pop music and watching a lot of movies, and I'm like, oh, who's the heartthrob? I was like, oh shit, like look at, like for Chad Michael Murray, for example. I'm sure that was a lot of people's, right, I'm sure that, shout out to Chad. But yeah, I agree with like school. So I feel like Cheektowaga was very diverse. But I agree with you with the, whoever started taking interest in you is who you, or whoever you allowed to take interest in you is how it happened. But I wasn't really entertaining anybody in high school.
Well, good girls only.
Good girl. No, but college is where it really happened. Obviously, we went to Canisius, so that was pretty much, pretty bright. But I think that's where I think school had a lot to do. Well, just a lot of white boys. I just feel like school did play a big role, no matter like what you listened to or what you watched. I feel like what it came down to in real time was like, oh shit, I'm surrounded by, Chad, Brad, Thad, Lad.
So for some context for people who don't know us, we all met through Canisius, which is a private college that is predominantly white. So that also helped shape our experience, just for some background info.
Yeah.
And we're also 3 women.
Just around a bunch of white folks, which I mean, it was an experience. It's not like a good or a bad experience. Right. You had a little mix of everything, but like that's just who it is. And now that I think about it, back in high school, even if I, did try to pursue black guys or guys of any other race, I'm thinking about it, all the I'm not gonna say all, but most of the black guys that I knew from Joe's and Canisius were into white girls. Right. Like that's all they weren't looking at the black
guys
girls
we know now who are still all
And I think almost every outside of my family, all of my guy black friends, maybe apart from 1 or 2, are usually into white girls.
Which no shade.
Like even for us, I feel like we don't approach men of color.
But then even like take school outside of it, like think about where we hang out, where we would mostly meet people that we're interested in. White we go spaces. To it's extremely white spaces. We love our frizzies, we love our brick bar, and like I don't care what anybody says, like I'm so comfortable in that space. Right. And I don't think that it's because it's any specific type of race that goes there. I just love the bartenders. I love the staff. I love the people that go there.
Around, you notice that
like when you look around, it's mostly white people. Like I can probably name off of one hand how many black people I know that have stepped in the Philippines.
Well, if you can name them, that's also like, okay, then that's that's the point. It's like, oh shit.
So it's like even when you're staying, like you're hanging out at places like that, most of the time when you meet someone, they're gonna be of the Caucasian descent. If I spent nearly as much time at the Oak Room as I would, I love the Oak Room, whatever, but the Oak Room before 10 o'clock. If I spent as much time as I did at the Oak Room as I did at Frizzy's, yeah, I'd probably be entertaining more people of color. I hate that term, people of color.
But black, I was gravitating towards it, like that. If you wanted to meet more people of color, then you would go there instead of going to Frizzy's.
But no, because it's about the bar. It's about the bar. Like I love Frizzy's. It's like Frizzy's is just an amazing.
Like Allen in general.
Yeah, Allen in general, like is just fantastic.
Place for 20-somethings. Exactly. Who don't want to like be pressed against someone at a club in Chippewa, because that's just like, I feel like that's the young 20-something, and then you have the older 20-somethings who are like, no thank you.
Exactly. And I almost feel like black people in Buffalo view Allen as a very like white area, and they're like, they don't want to go there, and I'm like, yo, let's go to Frizzy's. Let's go to Brick Bar. No, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't want to like go there. The music is bad. The people is a bunch of white people, whatever the case may be. It's like, oh damn, what was my point?
I was supporting, I guess, little like chime in for that. Like, I agree with you. And I also feel like I will go wherever I feel like there's good vibes. So if I can control the music, I'm going to go there. Like, it's all about the music. And then once you get comfortable with, let's say, bartenders, then you always want to go to that place. So if I know I'm going to hear some pop rock or pop punk or pop, any of that, like, me up, man. I know I'm going to go to this place. You know, like, it's just, that was really good. That was really, really good.
Finish it. Go ahead.
Oh, what a magic.
No, I do want to say, like, for anybody that feels like because I feel like the question always comes up like, ooh, what are you into? Like, what's your type? What's your preference? For anybody that's like, oh, I don't have a type. Like, first of all, you have a type, and it's okay to say your type, and it's okay to say your preference, and don't let anybody make you feel bad for that shit.
Every time we were out, if there was any white guy ever like within our age range, they'd be like, ooh, right. Like, ooh, look at him. Like, ooh, right, you like him. Or like, we'll have a cute waiter, and I won't think anything of it. But as soon as he walks away, he's like, right? You want, like, it's like, maybe not. Maybe I want me a nice, strong black man.
My mom just does that with any man because she's trying
Wait, Mariah, what'd you say? Say that again.
I said, maybe I want me a nice, strong, black, African-American man.
What were you saying, Lex?
Oh, I was just saying that my mom just tries to pimp me out to literally anyone and everybody. She's constantly texting me at work like, we have this cute new nurse on the shift. Do you want to see him? Or we have this new.
Do you want to see him?
Like literally anyone. Like she comes across someone on the street. Wow, I just walked past this nice man. You want to see a picture of him, Alexis? Like I feel like it's the 1800s. She's like, she's about 24. Let's marry her off.
I don't know. I think I feel like it all depends on what your, let's say, parents or uncles and aunts were like exposed to themselves or what they tried themselves.
Yeah, that is true, because I guess the first experience that I had of an interracial relationship, like personally, was my uncle, who is a black man that's married to a white woman. So I feel like when I think about it, that relationship didn't really have any effect on me though. Like as far as like viewing interracial relationships, I feel like I never actively thought, oh, my uncle is in an interracial relationship which may be viewed differently from other like a normal, like it was just a normal relationship, so I don't know.
Well, I think that's the thing, like if you're exposed to it, it's normal.
Oh yeah, it's normalized. Oh,
never mind.
Well, how about you talk about your experience, Alexis?
Well, I never had any like true experience yet, but I remember when I was little, my mom telling me a story. So my parents got married in 1989 in Buffalo, and she was telling me the story about how they went to a restaurant once, and they didn't refuse to serve them, but they treated them really horribly for being an interracial couple, and they were just, and my mom just remembers being shocked because she was like, this is the modern age. I mean, 1989, but it was modern age for them. And obviously, we're not like some bumfuck town in the South. You would think that wasn't a thing anymore, but here we are.
Well, do you want to tell the people what your parents, the race?
Oh,
so they can...
Sure. And that's the thing. It's not even like, I mean, not that anything's dramatic, but my mom is a white woman, and my dad is Puerto Rican. And that's it, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever... Well, what are we talking about? Like biases? We're talking about discrimination? What are we talking about?
I think I just brought in
like
personal
the people around you?
Yeah.
So like I mentioned, like I'll call him my stepdad because they were, basically like common law marriage, right? For almost 19 years was Italian, and I grew up like with my family, with my dad's side, and with his side. So like Mariah said, it was kind of just like you didn't view it as like, ooh, interracial. How is
like
it so
taboo.
different? Right. It was just like, oh, okay, this is my mom's boyfriend. Like this is who it is. This is a person that's like another dad to me. So yeah, I think that's what also made it just so breezy. Easy breezy.
Which
Beautiful.
I feel like the
Cover
next
girl.
generation, it's not going to be, our generation's like mostly like normalize it, but like the next one, pretty much everyone's going to be mixed race. At least based on what you see with like celebrities and everything, like on Instagram, like everyone's intermingling with everyone. I feel like it's not as taboo as it once was, even more so. I feel like everyone's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
True.
Shout out to all my kids who get that question.
What are you?
Ew.
That was
Wait, say it one more time.
So like, or my favorite, it's like, but like, what are you really? Because that was my favorite. Or even well-intentioning people of one side of your family, like my white side, being like, you just look so exotic.
I can imagine like being around family and you get the, ooh, you look exotic.
Not to be
like,
racist, but
even just, I was about to.
Call them out.
I was just gonna go into that one story of freshman year when I sat next to a girl, and she did that. She's like, what are you? And then I told her, and then she was like, oh, like Puerto Rican? I met one of those ones.
She did not say one of those.
Yeah.
She said one of those.
She said one of those.
Those, them, they, those, over there?
Me,
Ooh.
over here.
She said those. Ooh, that's cringy. I would have said, bitch, the fuck you mean?
I was
those.
like,
those?
Oh, can we also talk about how, I guess, like being called Oreo?
Oh my
you,
god.
You
Wait, I feel like
white.
we're jumping all over the place right now.
We
but
are.
I'm just like letting it all out. I feel like I've been called
Let's talk
Oreo
about race,
so
baby.
much. Like in high school, people used to say either, "Oh, you know, you're an Oreo," and they used to think it was like so cute and so funny. But I'm like,
Twinkie.
No, I'm not.
I can probably
Yellow on the outside, white on the inside. I got called a Twinkie. Yes.
I've never heard that. Oh my god, I've never heard of Twinkie. But yeah, Oreo. Like,
People
like
are creative with their racism.
I feel like I can count on one hand the number of times as I'm being introduced by one of my quote unquote friends, I've gotten, oh, she's black, but she's not black.
Someone introduced
and
you?
and you
She's
consider
black,
them a
but
friend?
She's not black. No,
No one said that.
This was a long time ago. This is like
Name
back
names.
when,
Call them out.
No, I'm not gonna call nobody out, but this is definitely not in 2020. Like where I'm like, okay, bitch.
Was this college?
Oh, it better not be.
We're not gonna talk about it, but it's well, actually, it's happened in both college and high school, so it's not just. It's been several people where they're like, okay, but like she's.
And if you're listening,
like,
fuck
black,
you.
Like she's not one of those black girls.
Ew.
Listen, ain't that shit nasty?
It's like all those like all the covert racism. Like you're pretty for a black girl. You talk well for all that.
Oh, I promise you, I hate, and I want to almost punch people in the face when they're like, "Oh, you're so articulate."
Oh yeah.
Oh, you stupid motherfucker.
Okay, let's get back on track to Pocahontas syndrome. Because we can go on all day about
this is a whole.
I'm sure your feed is dominated by it. If you haven't already, educate yourself, donate, protest, whatever. Let's get back to it.
Yes. So, loving on white men.
Okay, so back to Pocahontas syndrome. First of all, there's nothing wrong with liking white men. I just want to say that.
Not at all.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
No.
We're the three worst people to tell you that because we love white men.
Do you, baby?
I think we need to talk about preference versus like fetish.
Yes.
There's a big difference. There's a thin line there between preference and fetish. Fetish is that TikTok. I wish I could play the thing.
No, we're not gonna
love
promote that.
Black men. Their face. Oh, they're so strong. I'm gonna link this TikTok. For anybody that doesn't know, please pause this and look on, I don't know, my Instagram feed.
It'll
or
be on our
something.
socials.
It'll literally be there. It is the cringiest thing I've ever seen. Like, there is a very thin line between fetishizing an entire race and actually, like, I guess being okay with dating someone from a different race. Because I do not fetishize white men. Like, I'm not looking at a white man and I'm like, oh my god, look at his stringy, greasy hair. Like, oh my god. Like, no, like, I'm not doing that. It's just,
I might.
it comes with the person, and then they just so happen to be white.
You're fetishizing Maddie Healy. You're not fetishizing.
But you're fetishizing Maddie Healy. You're not fetishizing white man Maddie Healy. I mean, unless you like that whole like, because there's black guys that have the Maddie Healy effect. Honestly, I know we got somebody out there. Oh, okay, so back to a difference between fetishizing and just having a preference. But
right.
But here's the thing: is that white men are not my preference. So I wouldn't say that it's necessarily having a preference. Like, I'm not like I prefer white men over black men. I prefer
big, strong men who love the bills.
That's you can be black, white, Asian, Puerto Rican. Slide into my DMs. But no, it's definitely a difference, and I feel like there's a lot of people, especially like when you'll learn whether it was fetishized or not after they have a kid. And
wait, what? Oh, you lost me. I was like,
I was just gonna say literally after you have a conversation with them, like, you can tell if it's more so this person likes me for me or this person just wanted to, like, check a box.
Or I was gonna say, if it was a pattern, like, if it doesn't matter to their personality or, like, anything like that, if it's just, like, any old body.
True. Like, after you get that, ooh, my chocolate chip cookie queen.
Wait, no. My mocha, what was it?
Mocha
My mocha princess?
My
Do you know
mocha
how many times I've been called
princess?
someone's caramel queen?
Listen.
Wait, first of all, how many?
Okay, just once.
All these people are calling me caramel.
Wow, it's just so hard being so popular. Okay, I didn't expect to be called that way. It was just once, but still.
But no, literally. That's so weird. Like, I can't imagine, like, talking to a white guy and me being like, oh, my white. No, but, like, it would be something like my.
Oh, wait, I found another example.
My white macadamia nut prince. Like, that's so weird. I don't understand how people are okay with that. With, like, saying that out loud and not feeling awkward within themselves.
Can you imagine going up to a man at Fraser and be like, yes, my alabaster king.
Like, what?
Wait, what's alabaster?
I think it means, like, wait, like, okay, let's say ivory in case I'm wrong. I'll fact check that later. But, like, my ivory king. Yes, my stone cold. What the fuck else is white?
Well, okay, so we're basically saying all this to say this is not what it's like when we say, like, oh, you know, we're attracted to white men, or, like, these are the people that we don't go for. So, basically, I kind of want to get into why people think there's such a difference in actually dating, or just, like, talking to different races, because I personally think I don't want to say all men.
All men are the same.
I don't want to say all men are trash, but no, I personally think, like, men are men, like, they come with the same shit most of the time, but, like, just because one looks a certain way does not mean they won't put you through the same thing somebody else
use
would.
a different language.
Exactly, or different actions. Like, it's all just.
They'll break your heart in different languages. Okay, but, like, imagine, like being broken up with by an American. It's like, you know, it's not really working out. I just need my space, you know? Versus, like, you know, listen up, love. Like, it's not really working out, yeah? Like, I would absolutely love to be broken up with like that. Like, I'd be like, okay, baby,
so
it's okay.
let's go into, I guess, I don't know. I kind of wanted to, I feel like we already talked about it, but I kind of wanted to touch on, like, bad experiences we had with Pocahontas syndrome.
Ooh, going to the guy with the truck.
Like, bad experience.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, okay, so time for that. Okay, so we will go into bad experiences with Pocahontas syndrome, and how you pretty much never, or just being down with the swirl, I should say, and how you never really know people or their intentions until you, 1, follow them on Twitter and see their likes. 2,
Ooh, you be looking at people likes?
No, not
that,
anymore.
Cloyd?
I don't have
Cloyd Rivers?
I don't have Twitter
that account
anymore,
was?
so I
No,
don't.
but that's a good idea. I never thought about that.
I look at people. I used to look at people's likes.
Mariah's on her phone right now.
I'm
Like,
looking
let me
at it.
just check on John Joe that I just followed.
Or people's just like Snapchats, because people tend to put things on Snapchat that they don't necessarily want to put on Facebook or Instagram. Just a story of mine is that I used to talk to this guy, and we were talking for like a couple months. Like, I was actually starting to like him. Starting to.
I love how you say it like it's such a, like, ugh.
And
Starting to like him.
I was starting to like him, and then something told me, girl, check his Twitter likes.
Check it.
I shouldn't have done that.
Shouldn't have done that.
Because which is what I just do not understand, but all in his Twitter likes were just Cloyd Rivers tweets and really racist
It's this, like,
tweets.
racist little cartoon thing on Twitter.
It's like America, like
yeah,
that type thing.
I love.
It was that, and then I'm like, okay, Deja, like, whoa, like, maybe I really told myself, like, oh, maybe I'm on the wrong Twitter. So I kept looking.
Wait, when you're so deep into it, you're like, no, he's not one of those colonizers. I love him.
I was like, oh no, I'm on the wrong Twitter.
Wait, not the accent.
I love him. Mama, I swear he's married.
What is this? The fucking help? So I ignored it. I know, stupid, so stupid, right? Because I'm like,
why did you ignore it?
Well, I ignored it by just not, like, because, 1, I didn't follow him on Twitter, so I couldn't let him know that I followed him, and at the time, I was stupid, and I was like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna, you know,
2 weeks
let this slide.
later.
I was just like, oh, I'm gonna let this slide. But then one day, something I did have him on was Snapchat, and this is where I just drew the line. I said, "Oh no!" And by the way, Floyd Rivers was like that passive aggressive, racist Twitter.
He didn't come out and say, "I love,"
right.
I love.
Right. It wasn't like I hate.
I love white supremacy. It was like, wow, what happens if like welfare. You like run out? Yeah.
It was like about welfare and all this shit. So anyway, I was on Snapchat, and this was the final straw. He was at a Darian Lake concert. Yes. Of course, it was a country concert.
Not all, because you know I love my country.
I know, but it's usually like the first sign. It's like, go to a Darian Lake concert with someone. Let's see what their pickup truck looks like.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot of racist people there.
Okay, so he was at a Darian Lake concert, and he had a Confederate flag on his truck, and I said, "Ooh." Nope. Now, if you are listening to this and you're like, "But the Confederate flag," shut up. Like, just shut up. He had a Confederate flag on his truck. People know the meaning behind that, and people also know the basically like the stigma around it.
Also, we're from the
like,
North.
Just give it up.
Y'all ancestors weren't from the Confederacy.
Just give it up. So that was when that was like a horror. I was like, oh my god, I gotta cut this out. Well, I didn't really care about cutting it off at that point because I was already moving
and then
on,
I continued to see him for 2 more months.
No, I definitely didn't. I was like, okay, this is enough. And then he tried to hit me up, and I was just like, sir, check your story. But yeah, any other? That's really the first horror story I can think of.
I do have one.
Ooh, let's hear it.
No, it's like so juicy.
Say it.
Not juicy,
Say it
but
for
like
the podcast.
it's like I'm cringing in my body for like, oh god. Okay, so I'm gonna make it short. Was seeing this guy, met him, whatever. It was fine. He was of Caucasian descent. And
Caucasian American.
I'm not gonna get too juicy into it, but we were
who cares? He's
spending
not listening.
time.
Yeah.
He's not.
Did you drop him a link? No, link can go and come on.
We were spending time intimately together.
What does that mean, Mariah?
And at one point he and I did not do this. And we actually stopped, and I was like,
"Oh, I know exactly where this is going."
I was just like, "This is a little too much." He asked me to go outside of the bedroom. We were in. Stop! Deja literally just recreated what I'm about to say. He literally asked me to go outside of the bedroom and crawl the fuck back in. I said, "What in the Harriet Tubman is going on?"
Wait, guys, that's our soundbite. What in the Harriet Tubman?
I was like, "You want me to?" Terrified. I was like, "You want me to do what?"
You come back in, he's waiting with a fucking revolver,
literally like a fucking whip, like yeah.
Wait, y'all,
not a cute whip.
Wait, because Mariah probably did it.
I did not know. I did not. I felt so.
Don't you know? She's like, and I was like, what? And then 2 minutes later,
I was like, fucking.
John Smith, how you doing?
Honestly, and you know what's crazy is that if it was a black guy, I would have just took it as like, oh, he's just trying to be freaky. Like, all right, let's do this. Let's get down. I'm crawling.
The other one, you're like, this is a scary movie waiting to happen.
But literally, it was too like massive one for me to walk in, huh?
Wasn't he older?
He was very older.
Mm-hmm. See, so
he was trying to be a man.
And he was an older man.
Wait, I almost covered my
not like he's not like 90 or anything like that, but he wasn't older.
I mean, he was pretty up there.
Not that old.
Wasn't he like 40s?
Damn.
Yeah, see,
we gonna fucking cut this shit in post.
No, we're not. We're gonna expose you.
Not only am I in love with white men, but apparently I got sugar daddies everywhere.
Well, I didn't say the word sugar daddy. I said sugar.
But yeah, that right there for me, I was just like,
these white men are dangerous.
Like that was your moment. That was my moment of these white men are dangerous. I was like, no, he did not just ask me to go outside of the bedroom and crawl back in. Crawl?
Yeah, no. I'm not crawling for nobody.
I was going to say some human centipede shit.
So at that moment, I knew that Mariah fucked up.
It's like the freeze frame. I guess you're wondering how I got in this situation.
God, I wish.
What about you, Lex? Any bad, I guess, experiences having Pocahontas syndrome?
Nothing like as dramatic. Like I feel like the worst thing someone said to me, it wasn't even like bad. It was just a lie. Like someone was like, "Oh yeah, you with those thick lips and those big like your big ass." And I was like, first of all, I don't have big lips. I don't have a big ass. I don't know why you're lying to me. But I was like, just because other Puerto Rican women have it doesn't mean I do. Oh, but that was all I got, and he said it in like dead seriousness, and I was like, "Sir,"
he said, "With your big lips and your big
yes," and I was like, "I don't know who you're saying these lies, like lies, whatever to," but I was like, "That does not refer to me. Have you seen me?" Oh my God. No, but that's about as worse as it gets for me. I've gotten off easy, but I was like, I remember looking at him, and I was like, okay.
And I wonder where the fetishizing like, I mean, I guess
Porn.
I know. Oh, you know what? That's absolutely correct.
For sure.
Because realistically, when you think about it, there's not a ivory section. There's an ebony section.
Yeah.
They fucking sexualize us, man. I'm fucking sick of it.
Oh my God, I know. Someone was telling me about this like one porn where it's like all just like white girls like calling black guys the N-word, and it's just like that's it. Like that's the whole.
That's a big thing. Of, not muck. I almost said mukbang. That's like big.
Shout out to the mukbang community.
No, that's big. That's a weird thing and like a big thing in the gangbang. It's like the skinny little fragile white girl and these fucking like not lethal. What are they?
What the fuck? She's like writing the porn description to go lethal cocks.
Well, there's the soundbite.
No, you can't have me 2 weeks in a row saying these weird ass sound bites that come out of context. After the first ones, everyone's like, "Oh, Alexis, you eat ass." It was a fucking example.
So now you guys know that Lex.
Hold on, Lex. Correction corner.
Yes, correction corner. In the first soundbite that, may I add, Mariah edited, I was talking an example of like what's a sexual act that like if your friend performed with another person that would be too much for you. Like if someone kissed another guy, I'm like, okay, I can still like date him or whatever. But if someone ate someone's ass, I'm not gonna date him or something like that. And then I got all these messages. It was like 2 people, but 2 people were like, "Oh, so you eat ass?" I was like, "That's not what I said."
They were lining up in her DMs.
I was like, okay, first of all, correction corner. No, I'm not gonna kink shame. There's nothing wrong with it, but don't go spreading Alexis eats ass on the internet, okay? My mom listens to this podcast.
Hi, Jen.
I can't. That is hilarious.
And that's the end of
they
that.
really said, "Damn, Lex be out here eating
Deja's
ass."
mom also commented, "Oh,
Yeah,
she's
my mom
grown."
thought so.
No, Yvette, I didn't say that.
My mom was like, "Wait, so Lex eat butt?"
This is the whole soundbite. It's just a correction.
I can't. So now we know that Lex eats ass. And
No, that's not what I said, you stupid bitch. Wait till I edit you into a corner, motherfucker.
But I feel like with all the bad comes like that. Oh, that just sounded like a terrible.
With all the bad.
That sounded like a poem, like ending a story. But no, I think just now, like okay, so 2020. Let's push things into 2020. Like things were interesting back in college because yes, we were surrounded with it all, and like everyone was, just trying everything.
Why you look at me?
Because you a hoe.
She looked back at me.
No, I was just looking around, but I feel like now, 2020, people also have the question of like, ooh, what's it like? And I just think for somebody who is in an interracial relationship, like, one, again, I don't find it taboo. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So my current relationship, yes, there are obvious cultural differences as far as families and like traditions, but I didn't feel any type of way going around his family. But I can say I think it was a little shock for him when he met my dad.
Because, and your brothers?
No, not my brothers. My brothers are pretty much like, "Oh, what's up, bro?"
They just
like,
fuck around with everyone,
you
though.
Buffalo Bills.
But my dad was like, "Hold up. First of all, I'm not calling him your boyfriend right now. Right now, he's just gonna be known as Shane or like your friend."
Your friend.
Your little friend.
Everyone's like older relatives wave like when they don't want to admit you're dating. "Oh, your special friend."
Yeah, my dad still says friend, and like I really just think my dad is. First of all, my dad literally called my boyfriend MGK when we not to his face, but my dad was like, "Oh, how's MGK?" Like I think my dad tried to be funny, but I think it's up to you as that person to be like, "Yo, like dad or mom or whoever, this isn't okay." Like I was like, oh, Dad, okay, like, whatever, it's funny, like, stop. But now, my dad would never, I don't think my dad would ever call him, like, yo, what's up, Eminem? Like,
Wait, I'm surprised I'm surprised your dad knows who MGK is.
oh, yeah, my dad's very musically inclined.
He's very
Yeah, bitch.
But
yeah,
no,
bitch.
I think we were just comfortable in, like, in our bodies, in our skin, we were comfortable. So when we went around each other's families, we were comfortable. So I think I got off pretty well as far as, like, the family thing. Like, I don't question his family, and I don't think he questions mine. Like,
Shane writes in, he's like, actually?
there was this one time where, but no, I don't know. I just feel like it's been cool. I don't think there's anything to be scared of either when you go through this. Like,
closing remarks. She's like, dating white man. It's cool. I love it.
No, I just feel like you'll probably get, like, looks in public and shit, but, like, that's, like, anybody.
Don't you think that's so, like, we're in 2020. Like,
It's crazy.
why
some
are
people
people,
are
we are
suck.
not in, like, segregation times. Why are you looking, like, this, we
Yeah.
are not the Lovings. The Lovings was 50 years ago.
And yet, and then meanwhile, like, my parents in the 90s and, like, every other, like,
That's
person.
just so, I cannot even imagine looking at any, and that can go for interracial, interable, freaking gay couples. Like,
Right.
I
That's because look at who we are. Like, we're so open.
But,
and we're
like,
so,
I feel like there was
accepting.
nothing within, like, there was no drastic thing that happened when I was being raised that would make me, oh, I'm open to this.
No,
now.
I think it's just naturally, like, an understanding person. Like, I don't think you had to go through a class to be like, oh, that's okay, but...
I just don't understand why everybody can't just be
Yeah,
like,
and
mind
everything's
your,
taught, right?
I almost
Love
said,
who you
wait, I
love.
almost said, mind your black ghetto business. I said that to my mom.
I've heard you say that to your mom, too.
But, like, just mind your business.
Yeah.
Like,
It does not impact you in any way.
in any way.
Final thought.
No, not final. We still talking. I want to hear from Lex more.
Now, this is the episode. I shut the fuck up.
Probably shut the fuck up this time.
I don't know. I just think people should be open to dating whoever they want. Man, woman, any race. Like, life is too short to be like, oh no, I'm closing myself off because I'm waiting for this special someone that looks like this and acts like this and talks like this. So
You're never
I just
going to
say
get
go
there.
for it. I say go for it. Dive into Pocahontas syndrome.
Be open to loving whoever, and don't let anyone tell you it's wrong, because it's not. Unless they're racist.
Word.
Then don't love them.
That's literally the only thing I like. What
Racist,
other-
serial killer,
Right.
like no Ted Bundy's up in this bitch.
Wait,
Ooh.
Ted Bundy.
Oh my god.
Like I'm saying, like don't love like a serial, like on purpose.
How you gonna know if it's a serial killer? Serial killers are usually
There's the
nice and
people- okay,
charming.
no.
Yeah, nice, charming.
There's the
good-looking.
people who write to people on death row or like serial killers. You're like, I love you.
That's just because
What they got to do with race?
I was getting to that. I was just saying, love who you want.
She out here
Yo,
talking about
motherfucker,
fucking.
wait, I love
Ted
you, like,
Bundy
let's
was
talk
gotten it.
more. And then I talk and you're like, no, that's wrong.
She's like, Ted Bundy had a pen pal that said that he.
Yo, I'm fucking leaving this podcast.
Gotta say that every episode.
I just remembered that I said it last podcast. They're like, and then it's gonna be like first time. It's like this was the one that unfolded.
She warned us.
Well, I feel like I got stuff off my chest, but I also didn't get stuff off my chest.
Oh no, I feel like we didn't address like the climate right now and like how to
Oh,
check people.
dating. Wait, being
Yeah.
in an interracial relationship in the middle of a race war.
First of all, have those conversations. Well, you should have been had those conversations
Before,
first of
yeah.
all. But if you are waiting until now to talk about things like this, like you need to have real conversations because guess what? You're gonna have mixed babies that are gonna. Well, you know that's what everybody hopes, but you're gonna have these babies that are gonna be told like pick a side. They need to know that their parents are two understanding people who can have open conversations and can talk about these things, and you also need to influence the people around you that are closed-minded and stupid.
I feel like
That's all I
a
gotta say.
lot of people need to realize in interracial relationships, especially when you end up having children, like that just opens up a whole. Then it's not about like issues about being a black person in a predominantly white space or being a white person in a predominantly black space. You like they're like, oh, I don't fit in with the I'm too black for the white people. I'm too white for the black people. You got to deal with all that, and it's like if you don't know how to tackle those issues and talk that out with your children, like you need to figure it out.
And it's really not that complicated. Like, it all comes down to being a decent human being. Like, that's right though. Just love who you want to love, date whoever you want to date, court whoever you want to court, marry whoever you want to marry.
And only you know your true intentions when talking to someone. Like, if you know that you are on the brink of fetishizing, like, if you sit there and you're like, I just want to see, like, what that BBC do, like, it's like, stop. Reevaluate. Think about it. Remember that behind the BBC is an actual person.
BBC?
Yeah. A BBC. I didn't say it.
I was thinking about, like, British broadcasting.
No, I knew what you meant. I just was like, oh.
I was trying to be politically correct. Somebody got bleep. But no, like, it's like, just think about how your actions affect other people. Because I can tell you from experience, it is a shitty feeling being sexualized. In the aspect of my race. Women are always
She's
sexualized.
like, otherwise I'll be sexualized.
Women are always sexualized, but I feel like especially, like, being sexualized as, like, a black woman, where it's like, oh, your lips and, like, your butt. I mean, I don't have a butt, but, like, your butt.
Your dark.
Your
I told you, like, that fake
mocha
man
skin.
who tried to lie to me.
Yeah, like your dark mocha. Like,
oh my god.
Stop. So just be mindful of what you say to other people, because, oh.
And don't try and make things okay just so the other person can.
Wait. First of all, just knock on their door.
That's a goddamn alarm going off right now.
Like, why do we have
Wait, we have this every episode. Last time it was a fire, a
God.
fire truck.
Is this what if it was, like, my car? Like, how, like, I was like, wow, that sucks for whoever's car got hit, and then it was mine.
So, what I was going to say is, also, to, like, just add to Mariah's wrap-up statement, do not go along with something to make someone else feel comfortable. So if you hear something or see something from someone that you are dating that is a different race, don't just be like, oh, haha, like, that's so funny. Like, you're so cute. No. Call it out. Or just don't talk to that person, because what the fuck?
Yeah, I definitely
We too grown.
I'm going to be starting. I'm going to call out people from now on. You know what? If I come across as, like, that mean, angry black hottie, as some people say, the mean black hottie, like, if I come across as, like, a mean girl, like, if I'm out and you say something about my mocha choca latte yaya
Ooh, mocha
2020,
choca.
you know what?
Wait, where's that for? Oh, mocha
Yeah.
choca latte.
Next episode, we're calling out names.
Creole lady mama.
No, but, like, I mean, I've already been on this recently, but I'm calling people out because you sound stupid, and I don't want you to say it to the next girl that might have some issues with her self-identity or something.
Give them some juice.
Are you okay?
Like, you know, like, name the names. Juicy tidbits.
We'll cut this in post.
She's fucking crazy. Why you always make me look stupid?
So there's a couple lessons. If he has a Confederate flag on his truck, do not date him. If he asks you to crawl, do not do it.
If he tries to tell you have these big body parts that come across with your race that you do not have,
dump him, in the words of Britney Spears.
Dump him, says.
It's over, sus.
Okay.
Oh, you've been listening to another episode of
Probably Unqualified.
Bye.